Episode 3 of 10 out of 10 or not book tropes. This is the romance version, where instead of just doing random tropes all over, we're going to focus on romance BookTok tropes specifically. So we're just going to spin this wheel, go one by one. You can rate in the chat what you like and what you don't like. And I've added some fun little reaction buttons to my computer, and I'm going to see how well it goes. Okay. Romance trope number 1, and where I'm just doing a quick rating. I'm not trying to overthink it. I'm just gonna pick a number. I'm gonna give that a 6. It could be better, and it's been overworked a little bit in my opinion. The California Girl is number 6 because I too am like, it could be better. It could be worse. Okay. Alright, that's enough. That song will go on forever and ever. Beauty and the Beast, 7 out of 10 for me. I mean, obviously this is a very popular trope when it comes to a lot of romances, actually. I'm actually surprised how often they do it, but most of the time when you talk about Beauty and the Beast, it is the beast is the guy and the beauty is the girl. And I would like to see more of like that trope being flipped a little bit, where it's like the quote-unquote beast. Yeah, in the chat, California girls were unforgettable. Yes, this is definitely an unforgettable trope. But again, when I see it, it's mostly the male being the beast and the beauty being the woman. I would love to see a reversal of that. I think that'd be interesting, and I think there are some stories like that, but I don't know if they're that popular. I can't name one off the top of my head. Okay, so if you're in the chat here, I see one rating. You got 7 out of 10. Yeah, we all agree there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that from the listing. I can't remember. Can I just... Oh! Uh-oh. That's not... Don't yay that. I closed... I'm having technical difficulties today. Alright, hold on, y'all. Give me a second here. I pushed a button thinking it would work, and it closed it. That was so rude. Okay, thank you. Let's try again. Oh, Control Enter is the...
Huh?
No, I'm not. Never mind. I'm just gonna click it. Keep it simple. Okay. For the second trope for romance BookTok tropes is... There's so many. Best friends, lover. Oh no. Yeah. I hate these. I hate these so much. It's yeah. No. Because you know why? Because that's like a cheating trope, right? I don't mess with those cheating tropes. I don't like it. I don't like watching them. It creates a relationship just based on cheating, you know. I'm not gonna go after my best friend's lover. That's awful. You're an awful human being if you do that. So that's an absolute no. Yeah. For me. 1 out of 10. All right. So in the chat we have 3 out of 10 because it could ruin the friendship. Yep, that's exactly. Remove that. No bad energy there. I don't like it. And here we got fake dating. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. That's a 10 out of 10. I love watching the fake dating because we all know it's gonna end up into a real dating situation most of the time. But it does also have potential for angst if it's one-sided fake dating, where the two characters are like fake dating, duh, and one of the people are falling for the person and the other one says, oh no, I've been faking it. It's like we agree to. Now that's peak angst. That's peak peak entertainment. So yeah, that's gonna be a 10 out of 10 for me. In the chat, yeah. Oh, it's turning real. 11 out of 10. Agreed. Agreed. All right, gonna remove that and do the next one. I am not sure what this means. Too dumb to live. I don't know what that means. I'm I'm sorry to say, I don't know who this man is. He could be walking on the street and I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man right here. If you in the chat want to tell me if you know what this trope means, I'm gonna do a quick little Google here because I have no idea what that means. Oop! And it's gone now. Alright, the chat does not know either. I'm gonna Google it really quick on my phone. Too dumb to live? Maybe it's an autocorrect. Maybe it's too dumb to love, which would make a little more sense. Okay. By definition to this lovely too dumb to live, there's simple ignorance when you just didn't know something. Fear and panic in chaotic situations. What an idiot. I don't know. This explanation doesn't even make any sense. Because it's like they're too dumb to live. So you know what? Just oh no, not this button. Get out of here. I'm just gonna do 1 out of 10 because I don't know what it means. I don't understand it, and I want to move on. Chat says negative 1 out of 10. Agreed. Agreed. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Celebrity. Ooh. Personally, I'm gonna give that a 5 out of 10, which is also California Girls, but it's muffled because it could have been great, but usually it's not. I give it a 5 out of 10 because celebrity trope. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Katy Perry. Katy Perry. Celebrity tropes, you know, the one I can think of is just kind of like a Disney trope where the girl who's not like the other girls meets this guy and he's like, you don't know who I am, and she's like, no, I don't know who you are. And I don't know, I feel like that trope is kind of redundant, and it's kind of the same storyline where the celebrity is this know-it-all who thinks they're better than the rest. Then they meet this girl that is from out of town, and the story is like, you help me be a better man, and I now no longer want to be a celebrity. Let's just be celebrities together. You know what I mean? Let's not throw it out the window. In the chat, we have celebrity and fan love at 9 out of 10. Okay, so we got some different opinions here. I'm like, I don't like it. And then we have chat here, celebrity and fan love it. Chat says, but they know the person. But like they know the person, but don't like him. Okay, I like that twist. They know the celebrity, but they don't like him. That's like a love-hate trope. That's got like 2 layers to it. I like that. Okay, you've convinced me. I'll raise it up to a 7 out of 10, which is Tokyo Drift. I wanted to push that button so bad. Okay. I'm gonna let this one play out as I roll off the next one. Because this song slaps. I need to watch the Fast and Furious franchise. Like, I've watched a few of them, but not all of them. the priest trope? Okay. You know, Jesus is king, but I feel like this is more towards like the um what do you call it? Like the Catholic kind of thing. I don't have a lot of experience with this trope. I feel like it's okay, yeah. I don't know that much about this trope. So in the chat, if you want to put in your 2 cents about, the priest in your name. I'm assuming when there's tropes on this wheel and it's just one word, it's like priest and your name. Like that's the situation. Um I was actually seeing these movie clips where it wasn't a I don't know if it was a priest, but it was a like some kind of pope in training. It was really young man, and he's like in love with this woman who's not of the church, and they kind of just go back and forth between that. I don't really love it that much, so I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. Again, I feel like the story's pretty redundant. It conflicts faith and like something else, which I don't like. Okay, we're gonna remove that. We're gonna move on. All right, here we go. Here we go. Childhood sweetheart, let's go. That's a 9 out of 10 for me, boy. Let's go. I'm gonna let this song out. 9 out of 10 for me. I just think it's really cool, especially if like they meet again later, where it's like they've both grown up into their own people and they meet again. And they both are for each other and attracted to each other, and it's like, oh yeah, remember when we were little we used to do this, we should do this again. Okay, in the chat we got 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10. Yes, it's got a sweetheart obviously does, but it has a very gentle connection to it. In the chat, hi Izzy, how you doing? Nice to see you again. All right, we got those. Let's go for number, I don't even know, I don't remember how many trips we've done so far. Number 5? Number 6? It's better with angst though? Yeah, I agree. One bed. Ugh. I put this one in last minute because I know it's a very popular like fan fiction trope. But to me, I hate it. I'm sorry, I know it's popular, but I hate the one bed trope because me personally, I do not like sharing a bed with anyone. I don't care who you are. If you're a friend, if you're a family, if I'm dating you, I need my own space to sleep. I'm so sorry. So go ahead in the chat, you post what you feel about this one bed trope. I'm giving it a 0 out of 10 because personally, if it were me, you're sleeping on the floor. I don't care. I don't even care if I like you. You're sleeping on the floor. I need to sleep. I have a whole routine. Don't touch me. Okay. In the chat, we got a negative 100 out of 10. Okay. Glad to see we agree there. Glad we see we agree. I'll give the chat a minute to, if they want to add anything in there, go ahead and add it in. I have a button for like a timer button, but it's also the escape button, which would make this go out of full screen. So, okay. The next trope, here we go. Remove one bed. Yes, we do. Yes, we will. Stranded. Is the person named Stranded, or is it the two people are stranded together somewhere? I'm assuming it's like an island? Like you're both stranded on an island. That doesn't seem very romantic to me. That sounds very scary. And I feel like there's a lot of TV shows and survival shows that talk about being stranded together. So I'm gonna say,
ugh. Brother, ugh.
2 out of 10.
What's that? What's that, brother?
2 out of 10. I can't stand it. Um, I feel like Stranded, there's so much stress involved. I don't feel like there is much room for romance there. But Avery in the chat, Jack Sparrow and what's her name? Yeah, Elizabeth. Um, yeah, I feel like the whole time they're just talking about how to escape. It's not really like a, romance kind of situation. So, there's potential. Like it kind of forces them to talk and communicate. So if they like hate each other, I guess there could be romance potential, but it's very, very low. On top of, are we gonna get water? Are we gonna get rescued? Are we gonna die here? Um, so 2 out of 10 for me. In the chat, we got a 6 out of 10 and a 1 out of 10. All right. Next trope is. And I'm not going to do all of these. I'm going to do a part 2 for people who want to watch for next week. Forced proximity. Now. I had to push that button. Okay. That is 8 out of 10 for me. And the perfect song choice for the number 8. I'm just gonna let that play out. Yeah, forced proximity is an 8 out of 10. I don't think there's much explaining here to do. The first thing I think of is like they're two enemies running from something, and they have to like sneak in a closet or something, and they're forced to be quiet and be close. The only reason it's like 8 out of 10 and not like a 10 out of 10 is because okay, it's playing again. All right. We get it. Okay. The only reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is because, again, me personally would not like to be that close to someone, even if I do like them. Love my personal space, and I don't want to be stuck in a closet with you. I'm sorry. In the chat, we got 9 out of 10 and 9.5 out of 10. So that's a favorite among everybody. That's awesome. Welcome in, welcome in. Just doing some romance tropes, rating them. One True Love. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. I'm a sucker for like, there's only one person out there for me. And I like reading it where there's just the one. In the chat, we got freaking 20 out of 10. Yes. You only need one person in your life. You know what I mean? So that's why I love this trope. 100 out of 10. Absolutely. So we have the same vibe. I'm just going to push that button again. I guess it's similar to like the soulmate trope maybe, but one true love trope is maybe more like you pick the person more than you're fated to be. But we can't be together. 6 out of 10 for me, personally. Okay. But we can't be together. Now, in a 21st century modern day story, I feel like this trope doesn't work most of the time unless it's just like personal preferences, or it's like a family feud, kind of like a Romeo and Juliet situation, but modern day. This fits more in a world where it's more fantasy or old timey, where it's like a status issue. That's where it eats. But the reason for me why it's a 6 out of 10 is because you can't really put it in like a modern day thing. I feel like the modern day is just personal beliefs of you could be together, you're just choosing not to, and you're making up weird reasons not to. All right, so we got a 50 out of 10. So this is a favorite. Okay. There's so much angst, and they always end up together at the end. Okay, I can see that. In the chat, it really depends how it comes to be 4 out of 10. All right. We got it for the chat that says 50 out of 10. It's like billionaire son and baker's daughter for a random example. Baker's son, yeah. Okay. Yeah, in that stance, it could be like, again, that's like a status thing. I feel like this trope fits with the status of, well, you're rich, you can't marry some low life kind of situation. For me, 6 out of 10. The next romance trope is, oof, widow and widower. 9 out of 10. So much potential for that feel-good angst where the new love interest is coming in and they are trying to be a part of your name's life, but will they ever compare to your name's first love? Oh, this still okay. It's still going. All right. Okay, go ahead and rate this 9 out of 10 purely for the angst, I think. Okay, so in the chat, it's sad because I never end up finishing. Is that in reference to this trope or is that something else? Okay, in the chat, we got 8 out of 10. Personally, you don't like it, 5 out of 10. Yeah, very particular taste. I feel like this trope works the best when they're both widowers because they both have an understanding that they're together, but they always will have their first love, and they're coming together to bring comfort and find like a second romance, maybe, kind of situation. All right. Next, romance BookTok trope. Oh my gosh, say that. Whoa. Say that 3 times fast. Woof. Booksmart versus Streetsmart. I put this in specifically as a little throwback to the OCs that I have. They have a little bit of this energy going on here. I love this trope. I think it's 10 out of 10. I love seeing, it's not like someone dumb and someone smart coming together. It's different kinds of intelligence, and then both characters come together and they have respect for each other as they realize that, oh, you're not stupid, you just have a different set of knowledge. And that is a lot of knowledge in that area. So we have great reviews for this trope. 80 out of 10, 10,000 out of 10, a million out of 10. Okay, so this is a really, really popular one. That's good to know. Next romance BookTok trope is redemption. So redemption in context, I'm assuming, this is more like an enemies to lovers maybe situation. It seems like a subtrope to enemies to lovers, right? So, because I think when it comes to enemies to lovers, you have a trope where maybe the bad guy stays the bad guy and the good guy stays the good guy. And then you have the redemption where the villain comes to the good side and is trying to find redemption within. And then that, that effort to change maybe draws the hero closer to the villain kind of situation. So in the chat, we have 10 out of 10 because the guy tries to do everything in his power to win the girl. Yes. Yes, that is very true. You see that for enemies to lovers. Redemption. I love a good redemption. 10 out of 10. In the chat, we have a 9 out of 10. Reference to my villain and hero OCs. Yes. That's one thing about any, I'll say more in detail if we hit that trope in the wheel, but redemption, I feel redemption is necessary for enemies to lovers to work. Like, realistically. Okay. Next romance BookTok trope is Loveable Rouge. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. Loveable Rouge, by definition, a rogue is kind of like a thief, not really like a villain kind of situation, more pointed to who they want, what they want just for them individually, but they're lovable when it comes to maybe they're flirtatious or they're sweet or they have this soft side to them that makes the audience love them. Uh-oh, are we lagging? Oh boy. Okay, we're having some, hold on. Yikes. Okay. Okay, I am trying to troubleshoot here for a second. It's in the red. Now it's in the green. Okay. Okay, it's in the green now, so I should be fine. Let me know in the chat before I move on. In this situation, the computer is not the lovable rogue. It's just a rude, disastrous rogue. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right, so it looks like it's back in the green. Let me know in the chat how it is before I move on. If it starts lagging a lot, I might have to end the stream and do something more next week. Okay, looks like it's back up, so I'm gonna go do the next trope. All right. Matchmaker. I don't really know that much about this trope, to be honest. Matchmaker. I imagine the matchmaker is more for the main character who's watching two other people try to set up a romance, and then somehow one of the people in the potential romance starts falling for the matchmaker. That would be a pretty interesting trope. I don't know if I see it that often, to be honest, but I feel like it's a really good twist on stories. I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10. I forgot 8 was that sound. Yeah, 8 out of 10 for me for the potential for sure. Okay. 9 out of 10 in the chat, 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, that's a pretty one. High up there, purely for the drama. I love that. Politician? What you mean? Politician, okay. Again, this is probably this feels like a CEO and your name kind of situation, but it's politician and your name. I don't really see that trope that often. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on this one. I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna skip. I don't really care for it. Yeah. I, I don't like it. In the chat, 2 out of 10. I don't like it. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next one here. Okay, thank God. The next choice was Secret Baby, and I did not want to do that one. Secret Admirer. So this is the situation where, they sneak the letter into the locker and you don't really know where it's from, but it's, Secret Admirer notes and Valentine's stuff. Again, I feel like this feels more like a sub trope to it, maybe. Secret Admirer, and there's a lot of different ways this could go. It could be a sweet secret admirer, or it could be like a stalker secret admirer. Okay, in the chat we got 11 out of 10 because it's cute. Give it an 8 out of 10. Well, I want to smile and kick my feet. 11 out of 10. All right, secret admirer is popular. That's cool. I think for me either way. 9 out of 10. If it's sweet or if it's malicious, it's still a good storyteller situation. Not the stalker, said the chat. Marriage before romance. 8 out of 10 for me. Marriage before romance. This is like a marriage. This could be in different situations. Arranged marriage or a marriage where it's like, oh, we're both 40 and we agreed that if nobody was married between the two of us, we would get married to each other. Or it's a marriage of business or something like that, or like merging countries. I don't know. I don't watch that many. Okay. No. Okay. I don't watch that many old-timey shows, but I imagine it's kind of that situation. We have a 7 out of 10 too. Oh, that's a 7. I said 8 out of 10 for this one. In the chat, besties be like this. Honestly, it's pretty good. Love the drama. 6 out of 10. All right, awesome. Let's do the next romance trope here. Oof. That sound has a little delay. I love this trope. 10 out of 10. Love watching some good revenge for your significant other, for your love interest. This could be put in many different scenarios, and it is a good plot point to move the story forward. And I'm just a sucker for, you know, somebody hurts the girl and the guy goes out and he goes and finds whoever did this kind of situation. I dig it. I like it. Or if it's like if it's the villain of the story who their main drive is revenge for love, eat that up too. In the chat, we got 130 out of 10. It's so good. It's ridiculous good. 100 out of 10. I let the world burn. Yes, yes, absolutely yes. Okay. I don't have a lot of low ending romance tropes. Most of these are pretty top tier for the most part, like bigger than 5 out of 10. Almost. Ooh. Nah. 4 out of 10. I can't. This I don't know. I don't like it. It feels like forced romance, which I do not engage with. Well, this sound bit goes on for a while. Okay, I'm done with that. 4 out of 10. What do you guys think in the chat? In the chat, yeah. No, because it's technically forced. Yeah, exactly. I think the only way you could put a positive spin on Love Potion is like I don't know if I could put a positive spin on Love Potion. I was gonna say, you know, the two characters involved already love each other, and the Love Potion is like, yeah, yeah. You know what? 0 out of 10. I couldn't put a positive spin on it. Just no. I'm sorry. Get out. Yeah, in the chat for that one. 1 out of 10. Technically forced. Yuck. 0 out of 10 for that one. Okay, for the next one, it's Blast from the Past. I have to think about that one for a moment. What does that mean? I guess in that situation, it could be somebody that you knew. Like, this is probably like for an older romance. It was like, oh, I knew them in high school, or I knew them as a kid, or at a previous job. And it's not technically childhood friends to lovers. It could just be like, oh, it was a coworker or just somebody that I knew in school, and then they had like a glow up or something, or all of a sudden they're in a higher position of power, and now they look, you know, tangible, I guess. Or it's like a Hallmark, it's a Hallmark movie thing where it's like, oh, it's the it's the baker boy from my hometown, and I'm this big CEO woman, and I'm coming back, and oh, you know, in high school I knew you, but now, you know, you have a business and now I like you. We got 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. It's pretty good. You know, it's good for a rainy day. Yeah. This could go well if written well. All right, all right, all right. Next one. Old lovers, yeah. That could work for Blast from the Past. Oh, did I rate Blast from the Past? I don't remember if I did. Okay, hold on, wait. I didn't rate Blast from the Past. Uh, I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. It's a little overused in Hallmark, but it is a good story. Okay, next one, Possessive. Alrighty. Yeah, I see this in a lot of like dark romance kind of tropes of possessiveness. Mm, yeah. In the chat, we got 40 out of 10. Really like this one. I I do not like this one. I think there is a difference between protective and possessive. Um, where it's like you're protecting what's yours. Possessive is like this is mine and no one can have it. It just has different vibes for me. 8 out of 10. If they ever do it, I can't watch or read. Yeah. I think if they're going to do this, they have to do it in a respectful way, not in a weird way. But often when I see the word possessive, I think, ooh. Yeah. All right. Next one, next one. Kidnapped. Uh-oh. I'm gonna say 8 out of 10. um, again, kidnapped because it has good potential, right? It has a touch of, there's a syndrome for it. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like basically falling in love with your captor. So it's Beauty and the Beast kind of vibe. But I think it's really cool to see if like okay. What do you think? We got a 9 out of 10 for kidnapped, but like don't like the Stockholm syndrome. Right. So you got kind of on the fence for this one. 8 out of 10 for me because I think it's a cool trope to watch. I don't know if it's entirely healthy though. Um it has to be purely love, not Stockholm syndrome. It's interesting, so I go with the 8 out of 10. I feel like I feel like the kidnap trope, a good one, a good way you could write that would be, the main character is kidnapped, for ransom, for whatever, but they fall in love with the person who helps them get out of that situation. It's not the main person who wanted them kidnapped, who wanted to get the main character, but the person who helps them escape, and they fall in love with that. The main character falls in love with the person who's helping them escape. That works for me. That's why I say 8 out of 10. It's not 10 out of 10 because, yeah, there has that Stockholm syndrome. That could be a problem. Okay. Next trope is I'd have some music behind these spins. Ugly Duckling. Okay, so that's a pretty broad, just like Ugly Duckling. It could be I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this trope here. I'm trying to think of some examples of where this would be used in media because we did the Beauty and the Beast situation. So I feel like the Ugly Duckling wouldn't be so much of a like a beast, but more like the quote unquote nerd in high school, right? The loner, the one who's not very popular, um, and that person falls in love with like the popular person, maybe. That would be how I interpret the ugly duckling. The ugly duckling is maybe the way you would put, um, it's not Beauty and the Beast, that's like a woman and a man, and then the ugly duckling is mostly, it's like the ugly duckling is the girl and the popular dude. That would be the first trope that I would think of for ugly duckling. Um, Someone who doesn't fit the popular mold, the beauty standard mode kind of situation. So in that circumstance, 5 out of 10, because it's kind of like, oh, I don't like you because you're pretty, but then I get to know you and now I love your personality. It's still kind of like, but they don't think that they're pretty, which is kind of weird. Um, yeah, that's my take on there. Oh, we got a new chatter. Hi, thanks for coming in. When done right, it's nice and cute. Yeah, kind of similar on the chat. Not really sure how to rate this one. Not familiar with it too much. Is Katy Perry still singing? No, 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 no. Shush. Okay. Anyway, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 for the ugly duckling one. And thanks for coming in. Hi, it's nice to see you. Soulmates. You already know? You already know how I feel about this one. I said it earlier, but the one true love soulmate tropes, I eat it up every time. There's so many ways that you can write this. I think it's great. It's so great. I want to play that sound again. You guys let me know in the chat what you guys think. This is the song that needs to be extended. Alright. We got a 10 out of 10. I love this one. Yes, welcome in, welcome in. It's great to see you. Let me know what you rate this in the chat. Another 10 out of 10. Fantastic. I love to see it. Alright. I'm going to spin this again. Ooh, we got a lot of zeros for a bajillion out of 10 for Soulmates. Yes. Runaway Bride. Okay. Okay. Now listen, as a Marvel Spider-Man person, the first thing I think of when it comes to media for Runaway Bride is Spider-Man 2 Tobey Maguire, where Mary Jane is about to get married to the astronaut, and then there's this scene of her running away in the wedding dress with the pigeons flying, because it's New York, obviously. They're not doves, they're pigeons. To run to Peter Parker as he stands there mournfully looking on because he can't be with her because he's Spider-Man. Yeah, that's the Runaway vibe. We get some mixed reactions. Okay, this is crazy. Oh, this one's fun. Let me know in the chat what you guys want to rate this one as for Runaway Bride. I have to think about what I think about this one. I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. Perfect song choice, by the way, for Runaway Bride. Oh my gosh. Go, Kylie, go! You're doing amazing, sweetie! 7 out of 10 because I love the idea of the bride running away to be with their true love. But I feel bad for the person that they're leaving because most of the time it's, it's a good guy who, may have deserved to be in the loop a little bit more, but running to the person you want to be with. I support that. Avery, got you quoting a previous video that I did in VR, like Spider-Man. Every time I reference a media for Marvel, you get a point, and then if it's Spider-Man, it's 2 points. Okay. Oh, enemies to lovers, let's go. You've been waiting for this one. We all know what everyone's gonna do here. We all know which one we love the most. Put it in the chat. I already know it's gonna be a bunch of zeros, and everybody loves this trope. Enemies to lovers. Mm-mm-mm. I'll just play that one again for you guys. Alright, we got some screaming, and billion out of 10, trillion out of 10, crown, sunglasses, so good. Yes. Enemies to lovers is a favorite. Yes, absolutely. Hero and villain. I also really do like this trope. Again, like I said before, though, it needs the redemption arc for it to work. But also, if it doesn't, if they don't have a redemption arc, it has potential for angst, which I love as well. So either way, for me, it's a 10 out of 10, because if it goes great, it's great. If it goes bad, it's still great to me. In the chat, I have seen some weird ones, but on a whole, 10 out of 10, yeah. It really depends on how you write it, because there can be some weird ones. I agree 100%. Okay. I'm going to feel it out in the chat. Do we want to do a few more, or do we want to end on a high note with the one that you guys were waiting for? You go ahead. Do you want to do a few more, or end it for the night? I'll leave it up to you guys. I was going to push a button for music, but that would do the escape button, and I'm not going to push that again. I want to thank you all for being here and participating with me. It means so much. Whether I end it, you know, in a few minutes or now, in the chat, end it on high, because if we do more, it'd be accidental pregnancy. I already know it. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. I'm going to end this video here for Romance BookTok Tropes. I will be doing a part 2 of this, because there's so many more that I have in this list here. I think I have like 150, give or take. We did not do that many. So we will do a part 2 definitely next weekend, either Sunday or Saturday, depending on time. I will send an announcement on my YouTube page under communities. So go ahead and check on that when I make that post. But thank you guys for joining so much. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. And you guys have a good rest of your night. And I'm going to end the video here.